With us right here on the Splash Live to talk more about it and promote it and get into details. We have member of the board of the Friends of the Library for the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, as well as chair member for the Book Talks Committee. We have Diane Henderson. Thank you so much for being here, Diane. And can you just talk about how Book Talk started and evolved over the years?
I'll do my best with that. The truth is that as much as I've tried to get a detailed history, no one seems to know exactly how it started. I do know that George Keith was the primary and the only facilitator of the book talks for quite a number of years. And it wasn't until I got involved in 2005, when I went to my first one, that I thought, oh, this is cool. And in 2007, when I started being a facilitator, I found out nobody even had a list of all of the books and things that had been done. So I created that, and so that made me the historian. But unfortunately, my knowledge came from bits and scraps of paper and what we call the bookmarks when we publish our upcoming books.
Yeah, but you know what? I love you took initiative. You found interest in the event, in the organization. You saw something that was a need for a need, and you took the initiative to go there and start keeping record of things. I completely understand that, and that just preserves the accurate history of everything going on. 40 years, and we want it to be decades longer. So of course, I completely understand the reason why you did that. Now, in the years that you've done it so far, can you just talk about your favorite memory or experience so far?
Probably I have two favorite memories. One would be the very first book talk I ever went to. It was shortly after I'd moved back to Detroit, and one of the people who facilitated at that point was Sandra Sutherland, who had actually been my high school forensics teacher, and then we became good friends. And so she said, why don't you come to a book talk? And I went, and I was enchanted. I had never been in a book discussion before. I'm an avid reader. I've been an avid reader all my life. But this was back in 2005, and there wasn't a whole lot of book groups going on at that time. And then the second most memorable one is probably the one in 2007 when I did my very first book talk. And that was in 2007, it was, A Thousand Splendid Suns. And so that was, wow, it's not only cool to participate in one of these, it's even cooler to be one of the ones facilitating the conversation.
Interesting. Okay, I want to break that down a little bit more, but with us right now on the Splash Live, Diane Henderson, member of the board for the Friends of the Library and chair member for the Book Talks Committee for West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Can you just describe the scene? Like, how is this set up exactly? It seems like there's just one book, one host, person talking about it, and there's an open discussion. Can you just describe it a little bit more for us?
Yeah, we meet monthly at the library. We meet on Thursday nights and then again on Friday mornings. So we have two discussions of each book because there are folks who want to come at night and folks who want to come in the morning. And the person who's leading the discussion for that particular month does some background work, looking at reviews, getting discussion questions. And then we show up at the library and with a group of people that can range anywhere from 8 to 25. When it gets to 25, it gets a little chaotic, of course. But then ask questions, talk about the book, and in the best circumstances, we get a great conversation going amongst the people who are sitting there in the room with us. We don't want it to be a class. We're not teaching the book. We're trying to have a discussion of the book.
I like that. It just seems like a comfortable, casual space where you can just come and meet like-minded people who are reading the same thing and you just get to share your thoughts. Sometimes you read something, you watch something, you consume something, you don't necessarily have someone else to talk about that with. So and just bounce perspectives off of. So I like that. I like that as a creative myself. How do you feel like book talks have impacted West Bloomfield, the West Bloomfield community and the reading culture in general here?
I think that one of the things I have to acknowledge is that the West Bloomfield Township Public Library is considered one of the leading libraries in the country. There aren't a whole lot of 5-star from the Library Journal. So West Bloomfield, the library exists in a community that has a real commitment to libraries and to reading. So it's a great community for something like this to happen. And it offers all of those avid readers in West Bloomfield a place to come and talk about books. And we try and focus on books that we think will give them a good conversation. Not every book is good for a book group or a conversation. So what we're trying to do is to give all those avid readers in West Bloomfield a place to come, join other avid readers, and talk about books that people are reading. Sometimes they're current books, sometimes they're classics, sometimes they're ones that have been out for maybe 10 years that people hadn't seen. But it's, let's delve deeper into books, you readers.
I get it 100%. And we are always advocates for reading a physical book more than anything. I mean, reading in general, but I'm always an advocate for physical books myself also, and audio books. I want to talk about your partnership. You have some relationships you all have with Schuler Books also locally, and I like that. That's local organizations working with local businesses. Can you just talk about how that partnership enhances the entire experience for participants?
It's a fabulous partnership. I think what we get from Schuler's is amazing. They sometimes bring in an author to the library. The Friends is generally involved in all of that, so that it gives readers in West Bloomfield the opportunity to meet some authors who are making the rounds. And they also, Schuler's also, it is good. They're donating books, for example, for door prizes at our upcoming anniversary party. They've donated 12 books, 4 copies of books, 3 copies of 4 books we're going to be doing this fall. And so what I think Schuler's gets back from us, which makes it a partnership, is that it then leads the people who are engaged with the Friends to go to a real, live, honest bookstore, Schuler's
bookstore.
And it's the not buying their stuff from Amazon. Sorry, not dissing Amazon or buying stuff online. But it's let's go engage in a bookstore, because there's nothing quite like wandering through a bookstore and seeing books. I know they're dangerous places for me. I can go in looking for one book and leave with several.
That's a good problem to have, though. I love that. And I love that, like we said, we are encouraging people to go to libraries, go to bookstores, and, spend less time online and more time in line, in a store, behind somebody, buying an actual book. I get that right there. Hey, Diane, we got to kind of wrap up, but one last thing. The 40th anniversary celebration for Book Talks. Let's just talk about this event specifically, what makes it special, what people can expect, and things of that nature, please. August 8th.
I think what makes it special is for a library and a volunteer organization at that library to do something like this for 40 years. That's a moment in time that can't be ignored. So that's why we decided we'd have a party. And on Thursday night, it's basically a party. We're going to have a very short program. We want people to come in, enjoy the refreshments. There's going to be a video showing of, we hope, every book that we've ever done, all 335 different books. I doubt that we'll be able to get through all of them. And then have refreshments, and then have a conversation with other passionate readers who like to come to the library and who like to discuss books. So it's meant to be an anniversary party. Come and party with us.
We love that. Thank you again for your time, for talking about it, and for advocating for physical books. Once again, Diane Henderson, member of the board for the Friends of the Library, as well as chair member for the Book Talks Committee right here at West Bloomfield Township Public Library. We appreciate your time and information.
Thank you. I love doing it. Have a good day, Kevin.